So let's get on to how we're going to organize this round of Copy Hour. So you're going to get daily assignments. Emails are going to be sent Sunday through Thursday night at 6 p.m. your local time. Sometimes they come in a little bit later, but basically you can view Saturday, and I'll structure the content, the sales letters, so if so that we don't have like run over onto a Saturday. But basically, you can view Saturday as a bonus, and then Sunday is a like take a day off, but read. So there are some books that are in the forum that I think that everybody should be reading while we go through this. So Sunday is a read-only day, but it gives you the ability to still check in. So some people have mentioned that with the Lift app, which I'll get to in a second, where it's like a habit tracking app, that they like the streak. Like there's one guy, Masa, I don't know if he's on the call, but Masa has done like, I don't know, 100 something days in a row. And he really likes the ability to keep his streak going. So I think I'd like to be able to get it to the point where you can check in, at least check in every day and say that you're like at least thinking about copywriting in some way. It's just a good way to develop that habit over the next 10 weeks. So why do I send it the night before? It's basically just so you can read the materials before bed and sleep on it. So you've heard that before. Just the ability to sleep on an idea is good. So you'll have the assignment ready to go right when you wake up, so you can like have it open on your computer somewhere, and you don't need to go into your email and get distracted. I always get distracted when I open up my email. So morning routine is pretty important. I've developed a pretty specific routine when I'm actually doing the handwriting exercise. Just wake up and get right to it pretty much. Make some coffee and go for it. So another thing that you can try if you want, some people have said that they will read the sales letter aloud as they go through it. Others have said they read it aloud, they record it, and then they listen back to it. And if you want to try that, then definitely do so and let me know how that goes, but that's obviously not mandatory. And all right, so then in the morning you wake up and you write. Set a timer if you want. I use my phone. That's not necessarily suggested. I have an iPhone. I just use like the stopwatch on it. If you have an actual stopwatch, you might want to check that out. And just be warned, if I think a lot of people on this call have actually done Copy Hour before, but basically the first 30 minutes of the first ad, are you just going to want to kill yourself. And the first 15 minutes will always be the hardest. And maybe the first 15 minutes and like the last like 5 minutes are always the hardest part of it. And not every assignment is going to be an hour, but we'll probably stick in the 30-minute to hour range for most assignments. Materials that you will need: yellow legal pad, a comfortable pen. A standing desk is best if you can swing that, and a window open, get some oxygen going. Just little tricks like that will be good for you. If you can get a standing desk where your elbow is at 90 degrees with the pad of paper, that is best, or a desk if you're sitting down, try and get your elbow at 90 degrees. But beyond that, your hand will probably cramp and hurt. But oh well. Lift app. Okay, so when you're done, I highly suggest, I want everybody using the Lift app if they can. You basically can just go in and check in saying that you did the habit, which in our case is learn copywriting. So within the Lift app, search for learn copywriting. So you check in and you can give other people props. You can make a comment if you want. But it's just a great way to build a habit, and it creates a streak. And that little check-in, and then when someone gives you props, it's just like a little dopamine hit. So like you can even like anchor something else to it, like a little like yeah or something if you want to get a little bit ridiculous with it. But basically, it's just like a little dopamine hit, and if you can turn this into somewhat of a little game, it's really tough. This like psychology stuff of building habits is tough, but if you can turn it into a little game, all the better. So that's the Lift app. In you can also use the forum to check in if you want, and I suggest that you do that. If you don't have access to Lyft, go into the forum, and there is a new check-in portion of the forum. Let me see here. Can you guys see the forum now on my screen? You can't? Okay. Let's see here. Hey James, you said, is Lyft app available for BB? What does that mean? Oh, BlackBerry. I don't know if they have an Android version. I thought that they did. There might be, there is definitely a new desktop version. So you can check in on your computer now. So I would check that out. If they don't have that, then I thought that was available. If not, I think I can get you an invite. But if they don't have that, then let's see. Hey, what's up, Sean? Sean Ogle just joined. If they don't have that, then you can just check in on the forum. So let's see here. I'm going to check this out here. How do I do this? All right, now can everybody see the new forum? Okay, cool. All right, so I'm using this thing called Moot, which is like a really easy, like nice little forum plugin that you can put on your site. So what we're gonna do is, if you need to check in, you can go up here and type in add one done, like that, and that's actually your the headline of it, or the title of it, and then underneath you can put notes, and then just select check in and post, and then you can see all the other things that you've done within your feed, and then and these are the different forums. So I'll divide them by weeks, and then we can start like little discussions around each ad. The thing about the forum that I want to just caution you guys on and just talk about real quick is I don't really like forums, actually, to be honest. And we already have so many different things. Just, all of us have different, like we have Facebook, we have all these different little tools. So adding another one is just kind of a little bit of a burden to actually have like another place to go, like another social network. And things I've noticed with different networks like this is if there's a bunch of beginners in it, no one is really bringing something different to the table. Whereas if you have a community where there are a bunch of people that are somewhat experts in different fields, and they all come together within a forum, they can all bring their unique knowledge to the arena. Whereas a forum like this, you can get some people in there that don't know what they're talking about, and they can give bad advice. And at the moment, I don't have necessarily the time to get in there and answer every single question that comes up. So I want to institute something I'm going to call the dude rule. And if you've seen The Big Lebowski, you'll know what I'm talking about. But there's basically a scene where the dude says, well, that's just like your opinion, man. So everything is going to have that caveat where if you're giving opinions, it's just your opinion, and I don't want everybody to take somebody's opinion as the end all be all. So that's pretty much it. So be careful with the forum. That's all I'm saying. And let's see what else we got. So the weekly schedule. We're back onto the keynote, right? Everybody? Can everybody see the keynote? Got so many different windows open. Okay, cool. All right. So the weekly schedule. We are going to do this. We're going to have a mix of old and new ads. If you've done CopyHour before, there might be a little overlap. I'm going to try and do completely new stuff though. But there will be older ads from like the 60s and 70s. and then there will be the new stuff. So you get like a really nice mix of the old and new, and hopefully what you'll see when we do this is that there are principles that just remain the same throughout. And so you can apply any of the older ads to anything that you're doing now with new media, anything else. And just one thing to keep in mind is you might not like some of these ads. And some of these ads, like there's one of my favorite ads is actually a Halbert ad that he wrote for a company that ended up being extremely shady and not honoring refunds, getting sued by the FTC, and the owner of that business ended up going to jail for 30 years or something. So some of these ads you might not like. You might think they're too hypey, etc. But just try and learn. Try and learn the principles. Try and learn the audience and why it worked for that particular audience. So don't try and judge necessarily too much. Just try and understand why they're working, and then apply the same principles to your ads. But you don't have to be a dick. So that should go without saying. All right, week 1 we're going to do some space ads, which are basically newspaper magazine ads, and probably some Gary Bencivenga stuff, Gene Schwartz. If you don't know these names, you need to start knowing these names. And we'll start with those. Basically, like kind of pretty much they're going to look like newspaper-ish content article ads. So the older stuff. Just to get you a good idea of what we're doing. And I really love these are like my favorite ads to copy down, because I think it's really important that you study the history. A lot of people don't take a look at what worked in the past. They don't pay attention to history. And that's what history is there for, to learn from. So weeks 2 and 3 are going to be headlines, online ads, and blog titles. And I lump these all together because they're all pretty much headlines. Like most online ads that you'll see, like banner ads, Facebook ads, it's just a headline. So we'll have and I'm going to do like a little headline clinic, I've decided as well, in week 2. I'll make like a little video kind of like this, describing some of my thoughts on headlines. So headlines, online ads, blog titles will be the weeks 2 and 3. Week 4 will be landing pages, squeeze pages, webinar pages, stuff like that. And basically kind of shorter copy stuff, asking for an opt-in of some sort, so an email address of some sort. We'll do that in week 4. Week 5, we'll look at some emails. So email marketing is like the buzz right now. We'll take a look at some emails and copy those down. That'll obviously be more new stuff. Then we'll do sales pages. Week 6 and 7 we'll do sales pages and sales letters. And that'll most likely be kind of newer stuff as well. We'll probably take a look at some Ramit Sethi stuff. And then in weeks 8 and 9 we'll go to video sales letters, and we might do like some video teaser, like those little explainer videos that you're seeing everywhere now. Maybe we'll do a couple of those, and we'll do some of the longer video sales letters, which are really popular right now. And they're popular, we'll see how long it lasts, but basically they're popular because it's kind of a new thing that allows people to get their message across and tell a story, and basically force people to sit through and listen to it. It's like a little hidden mini infomercial. So that's that. And then the last week we'll go back to space ads, and that will be it. So let's see here. Let's jump to some Q&A. Let me figure this out. Okay, can you see me now? Cool. Lucky you. All right. I guess if you have a question, let me know and I'll unmute you. I think I can do that. Or maybe you can unmute yourself. Anybody have a question? Anybody? Jason? Okay. Oh. It's going to be pretty similar format-wise. There's not going to be a whole lot of instruction, just like in the last one. I think it's more valuable to have you just copy out the ads yourself and kind of build the habit. It's more of a habit building community, I guess, than it is necessarily like instructing you. And part of that is because, like I've said in all my emails and stuff, it's like I'm not the best copywriter in the world right now. I think I've just figured out one of the best ways to learn how to write copy and how to get good at it fast. You know, I've had some success, but I'm still growing. So I think there are some other courses and other learning materials that you can get if you want to, you know, learn from like the guys that at least claim to be the best in the world, you know? Yeah. hmm Anybody? Okay, so Jose's got a question. Are these ads the same that we have in the Dropbox file? I'll probably pull some from the Dropbox file, but there will be ones that are not in there as well. And then I'll place those back into the Dropbox file so everybody has them. But there will be new stuff that's not actually in there. All right. Anybody else? Everything makes sense?
Can I ask also about
Sure.
the cartel? If you could speak a bit about the cartel.
Cool.
I'm intrigued, but I haven't really looked into it that much.
Okay, so the cartel is something that I had one of my good buddies, Ed Stapleton Jr., help me put together. And he's a marketing consultant. And basically what he does is he's up in New York and he sends out direct mail pieces to different small businesses. I think he's working with a chiropractor right now, a dentist, and a roofer. So he basically is kind of studied in the ways of Jay Abraham, and he sends out direct mail pieces to people and does a free marketing audit with people, and then pitches them on how he thinks he can help them grow their business. So basically, all of the things that he's doing for these businesses are related to copywriting. So I thought that he would be a good fit to come in and help us, help people that want to be freelance copywriters, because there's a bunch of people in CopyHour that want to be freelance copywriters. So he came in to help us, or to help me create just training materials for how to be a freelance copywriter. And we've had some good success so far. I was originally hoping that we could really help people get going in like 60 days. Maybe hopefully someone could get their first job in 60 days. And we have had some people that have done that. We actually had this woman, Deborah, book a job where it's over a period of 4 months, I think, but it was a $12,000 gig. And there's another guy, Blake, who's done pretty well. But yeah, I mean, it's for $30, it's really cheap, or $30 a month. So you get to jump in there and check out just the different training materials that we put together. Yes, it's very process oriented. Yeah, so it's the process. It's not in a sense. It's not like Copy Hour where I'm just kind of letting you loose. It's a little bit more step by step than Copy Hour. Definitely. I feel confident doing that with Ed because he does it, and he comes from a great position where he doesn't have a website, so he's in a very similar position as most of the people that are coming into this. Most of the freelancers don't have websites, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, yeah, no problem. All right, let's see. What other questions do we have? James, the Dropbox folder, there's a link in the now what is considered the old forum at the top. You should see a link to the Dropbox folder. Oh, cool. Chris answered that. Deborah, amazed at the positive influence this has had on many areas of my life. Thank you. Oh, nice little testimonial. All right. Does anybody else have anything to say? Is everybody looking at Jason right now? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how this works. I got to figure this out.